Is justice truly blind, or does it see exactly what it wants to see? Today, we'll witness a trial where the crime itself matters less than who is standing in the defendant's seat. The night of the incident. A dark street. It was past midnight. Jamal Henderson was walking home from work. The dim glow of the streetlights cast flickering shadows on the pavement. As he heard approaching footsteps from behind, he instinctively quickened his pace. But something felt wrong. Someone was coming straight toward him. A voice, rough and slurred, shattered the silence of the night.
Hey, yeah, I'm talking to you. What the hell are you doing here?
Jamal turned toward the voice and saw the glint of a knife in the man's hand. His heart pounded. He stepped back, trying to assess the situation. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe he's just threatening me. But one look into the man's enraged eyes told him this wasn't just a threat. Jamal took a few cautious steps backward.
Look, man, whatever you want, take it. I don't want any trouble.
But the attacker wasn't listening. He lunged forward, spewing curses, swinging the knife toward Jamal. Without thinking, Jamal's body reacted on instinct. He grabbed the man's wrist, desperately trying to stop the blade from reaching him. The struggle was fierce. The attacker clung to the knife, refusing to let go. And then, silence. The man stumbled back, gasping. The knife was still in his grip, but his own blood was now seeping through his shirt. Jamal's eyes widened in horror. Trembling, Jamal fumbled for his phone and dialed 911.
Please, a man attacked me. I tried to stop him. He's hurt. Send an ambulance.
But before Jamal could even finish his plea, the blaring siren lights flooded the street. Minutes later, police cars screeched to a halt. Jamal stood motionless, hands raised, blood staining his shirt. The officers already had their guns drawn.
Hands behind your head. Get on the ground, now!
But I was attacked. I could have been the one lying there.
Look at you. You really think anyone's gonna believe that?
Jamal's breath hitched. How was this happening? All he did was try to survive. Cold steel snapped around Jamal's wrists. The attacker's lifeless body still lay on the pavement. But Jamal wasn't looking at the guns pointed at him. He was staring at the officers' faces. There was no fear in their eyes, no hesitation, just certainty, like they had already made up their minds. In the back of the police car, a single thought kept racing through Jamal's mind. Why won't anyone believe me? This was only the beginning. The real battle would take place in the courtroom. But Jamal was about to realize, proving his innocence wouldn't be enough. A crucial piece of evidence mysteriously disappears. But was it really lost, or deliberately hidden? Sometimes the truth never reaches the courtroom, because some people will do anything to keep it buried. Courtroom. The first trial begins. Jamal Henderson sits at the defendant's table. The handcuffs have been removed, but the fear in his eyes lingers. His attorney, Olivia Carter, stands beside him, gripping a stack of legal documents tightly. Across the courtroom, prosecutor David Langley faces the jury, his posture radiating confidence.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is not a case of self-defense. This is not about a man fighting for his life. This is about a man, in a fit of rage, taking someone else's.
Langley turns to the jury, spreading his arms dramatically.
Now, the defendant, Jamal Henderson, claims he was walking home alone, and yet he expects us to believe that an unarmed man suddenly attacked him. But let's talk about the real facts, shall we?
He shifts his gaze to Jamal for a brief, calculated moment, then turns back to the jury.
So, let's ask ourselves, did the defendant kill in self-defense, or is this just a well-crafted story? Where's the proof? The medical records that supposedly support his claim?
A stunned courtroom. Jamal's eyes widen. Olivia Carter immediately stands up.
Your Honor, my client suffered severe injuries on the night of the attack, and we have medical reports to prove it.
Judge Robert Calloway raises a hand for silence.
Then present your evidence, Ms. Carter.
Something is wrong. Olivia quickly flips through her legal folder. Her expression shifts. Her hands freeze over the pages.
This is impossible.
What is it?
Olivia snaps her head up, glaring at the prosecutor.
Your Honor, the critical medical reports proving my client's injuries have gone missing.
Ms. Carter, I'm sorry you couldn't provide your supposed evidence, but let's not forget something important. In a case like this, guilt isn't just proven by evidence, it's confirmed by doubt.
Olivia narrows her eyes. This wasn't a mistake. Someone had deliberately removed those records. Jamal turns to the jury. A few members exchange doubtful glances. One even shakes their head slightly.
They don't believe me.
Judge Calloway clears his throat.
Ms. Carter, without those medical records, how do you intend to substantiate your claim?
Tension fills the courtroom. Olivia Carter quickly calculates her next move. She looks at the jury. If she doesn't act fast, Jamal's fate might already be sealed. Can Olivia prove that the evidence was intentionally destroyed? Or has the court already decided that Jamal is guilty? There are two ways to win a trial: expose the truth or play by the rules. But what if the game itself is rigged from the start? Prosecutor David Langley spreads his arms dramatically, addressing the jury. Jamal Henderson watches helplessly, his eyes darting toward his attorney, Olivia Carter, who now stands up, her posture firm.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case is very simple. The defendant claims, "I was defending myself." Yet, can he prove it? No, he cannot. And why is that? Because there is no evidence.
Jury members exchange glances. Some nod in agreement. Judge Calloway remains silent, watching the proceedings. Olivia Carter clenches her fists.
Your Honor, there is blatant injustice in this courtroom. My client was attacked, received medical treatment, and now his medical records have conveniently disappeared.
That's a serious claim, Ms. Carter. Do you have any proof that these records ever existed?
Your Honor, the man who attacked my client is dead. He cannot testify. Our most crucial piece of evidence, Jamal's hospital records, have vanished. And I ask this court, who benefits from that?
A heavy silence fills the courtroom. Prosecutor Langley smirks and steps forward.
Ms. Carter, let me ask you something. Have you considered the possibility that these records never existed in the first place? Maybe your client is spinning a story to cover up what he did?
Ladies and gentlemen, can you not see what's happening here? A man stands accused, but the evidence that could clear him has been erased. Who did this, and why? If this court truly seeks justice, it must demand those answers.
Judge Calloway slams his gavel. His face is unreadable, but his eyes lock onto Olivia, analyzing her.
Ms. Carter, if you continue disrupting these proceedings, I will issue a warning. Unless you have further proof, this trial will proceed as scheduled.
I am not disrupting, Your Honor. I am stopping the truth from being buried.
Your Honor, we have received new information regarding the missing hospital records.
Judge Calloway shifts in his chair, visibly unsettled. Prosecutor Langley narrows his eyes, staring at the clerk. Olivia Carter seizes the moment.
This needs to be presented to the jury immediately. If these records were truly lost, it means someone is manipulating justice.
Prosecutor Langley quickly turns to the judge, speaking fast.
Your Honor, we have not yet verified the authenticity of these records. Accepting them now could compromise the trial.
Compromise the trial or expose the truth?
The judge grips his gavel tightly. His eyes flick to Prosecutor Langley for a brief second.
The court will adjourn for 1 day to review this new evidence.
Jamal looks at Olivia, hope flickering in his eyes. Prosecutor Langley clenches his jaw.
This fight isn't over, but now we have a lead.
Olivia Carter is starting to realize the scope of this conspiracy. If someone erased this evidence, it could only be someone powerful enough to control the system itself. Olivia digs deeper into the missing records, but an unexpected witness emerges. Will Nurse Lisa reveal a shocking secret that could change everything? Sometimes, justice is found outside the courtroom. Finding the truth takes courage. Hospital archives. Lisa's discovery. Lisa Montgomery, a nurse, stares at her computer screen. She searches for Jamal Henderson's medical records, but nothing comes up.
This is impossible. I remember treating him that night.
Lisa digs deeper. The records weren't deleted. They were simply filed under a different name.
Someone did this on purpose.
She grabs her phone and calls Olivia Carter.
Jamal's medical records weren't erased. They were hidden. But if I expose this, I could lose my job.
This could save Jamal, but you need to decide, justice or your career?
Lisa closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and makes her choice. Courtroom. A shocking testimony. The courtroom doors swing open. Lisa walks in. Prosecutor Langley narrows his eyes. Judge Calloway leans forward.
The defendant, Jamal Henderson, was treated at the hospital, but his records were intentionally hidden.
This witness is not on the official list. This evidence is inadmissible.
Does this court care about the truth or only evidence that fits its narrative?
Lisa hands the documents to the jury.
Someone tried to frame Jamal by hiding the evidence, but today, the truth will be heard.
Not all battles are won inside a courtroom. But today, a historic revelation is about to unfold. When the truth comes out, some panic. Others fight to make sure justice is served. The moment of truth. Lisa Montgomery stands firm at the witness stand. She clutches the documents in her hands, locking eyes with the jury and the judge. Prosecutor Langley's last attempt.
This woman isn't even part of the case. Are we really going to believe her?
You don't need to believe me. Believe the facts in my hands.
If Jamal was guilty, why was the evidence hidden? Why were his medical records erased?
Ms. Montgomery, How did you obtain these records?
Because someone tried to bury the truth, but justice cannot be silenced forever.
This trial was never about justice. We must demand it.
These documents need to be verified.
They are hospital-certified records. So tell me, prosecutor, why didn't they reach the court before today?
The jury foreman stands up, paper in hand. The entire courtroom holds its breath.
Based on the new evidence presented, we find the defendant, Jamal Henderson, not guilty.
Jamal turns to Olivia, his eyes filled with tears of relief. I'm free. Is this real?
Justice was served, Jamal. At least this time.
That day, it wasn't just one man's freedom that was restored. Justice itself was saved.